What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday morning here, whenever you're tuning in. And if you are tuning in, watching this live, comment hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, comment hashtag replay. And maybe you don't know who I am. If you're new to the group, that's awesome. Welcome aboard. My name is Miles Wold. I own and operate the Winners Mindset Fitness Academy. This is a specific fitness academy for blue-collar high performers such as yourself, right? So we're there to lose fat, build muscle, have more energy to be better leaders in the business, better leaders in the family, better leaders in yourself, and ultimately better mindset. And one of the biggest things with that is stress, right? Whether you're working in the field or you run your own business, more in the office position, there's going to be stress. The stress of business. That is a natural way of life. And a lot of people have their own kind of coping mechanisms, can't even speak, which is awesome, right? Now, one of those coping mechanisms, which maybe isn't so awesome, is drinking yourself into obliteration every day, right? And that could be one of the reasons, if not the main reason, that kind of disturbs your sleep, gives you more stress, it eats a hole into the wallet, to the bills, to the finances, and just ruins your day to day, right? So let me share with you a little story of my client, Austin. We were working together inside the academy, and when he first joined, he was drinking, 2-3 cases of Bud Light every week. And in turn, that led him to be about 30 pounds overweight, right? And really low energy, poor mindset, and ultimately just like general lethargy to not really be able to show up as his best self in the business and for his wife and for his 2 kids. So as we continued working together month over month, he'd tell me like he was drinking a little bit less, right? And one thing that really stuck out was how his mindset was improving, the way he spoke to himself, the specific words that he used on those coaching calls. He'd have this, when he first joined, he was very kind of low energy, kind of negative talk towards himself, beating himself up when things went poorly. But as we progressed over those 3-4 months, that language began to change. He began to get more resilient in his language, began to get more positive, began to get more sharp and precise, right? And his mood shifted, his energy changed, and the way he showed up on these calls was changing for the better. Now, kind of fast forward 3-4 months later, he dropped the 30 pounds of fat. He put on the muscle, and he only has about 2-3 beers every couple of weeks, right? And we didn't have to have a hard conversation about the alcohol, because he knew by working out more, eating better, getting proper sleep, the amount of drinking naturally came down, because he'd feel those negative effects if he just kept on drinking, especially when it comes to showing up for the workout, showing up for work every morning, sleep quality, hunger, all that kind of stuff. It had a net negative on his life. So we didn't have to have really hard conversations about, cutting back drinking. It was kind of a natural inclination of how we went along to and how we progressed to lose the 30 pounds, right? So his actions really spoke louder than his words. And he's beginning to create generational health for himself, for his wife, for his kids, right? Being able to lead from the front with the alcohol specifically. So now he's really showing up as a better leader for his family. He has more energy to play with his kids. He's making better business decisions and making more money. He's living an ultimately higher quality of life and has that kind of longevity to prove it. And what I'm going to share with you is how it's all possible for you, right? So there's really 5 things that I guess encompassed our whole journey together. So the first one is really be honest with yourself, really look at yourself in the mirror and be honest. Like, am I drinking for pleasure at social events, parties, all that kind of stuff? Or do I have a drinking problem? Right? That could be like, that's a very honest conversation you should be having with yourself. Like, if you have a serious problem, then you should really seek professional help, right? Speaking the truth will clear your head and allow you to show up as that leader every day, right? It takes a weight off your shoulders and helps you manage your stress better, right? A lot of stress is built up because we know there's something we should be doing, but maybe we're not. Or maybe there's something we are doing that we know we shouldn't be, right? So those are two very distinct reasons why stress kind of builds up within ourselves, right? So speak the truth, speak your truth specifically about you if you're watching this, and really have that hard conversation if you need to, because that could be a game changer, not only to save yourself financially, 2-3 cases of Bud Light, that eats into the finances, but also to help you lose fat, build muscle, lower your stress, have higher quality of sleep, and ultimately higher quality of life, right? So that's a very important one. So the second one here is have discipline, right? If you're drinking for, social and business events, keep it classy, maybe 1 to 3 drinks during the night, pace yourself, right? Really pace yourself. There's no need to wake up with a hangover the next day and feel like garbage for the entire week. Aim to have a water between, every drink or so you wake up hydrated and ready to take action, right? If you're there for business meetings, chances are you're not going to get absolutely blasted. Maybe just, 1 or 2 drinks over the course of dinner, maybe some wine, which is totally cool. But ultimately you want to, keep it under control, have discipline, right? Show up as an adult. Number 3, keep it low calorie, right? Alcohol has a crazy amount of calories if you keep drinking a lot, right? So these can sneak up with you on the weekend, especially if you have late night food to couple it together. Now, if you do want to drink some low calorie beer, I've got a couple options here. There's Michelob Ultras, right? That's kind of like my go-to for, low calorie beer if I have that. Or if you really want to keep it, super low calories, kind of liquor on the rocks. Really depends on how you can, what your poison is, if you will, what you enjoy, and what you can control yourself with, right? So keep it low calorie and watch that dad bod disappear. Number 4 here, save it for special events, right? If you're trying to lose fat and build muscle, then having no alcohol is best, right? If you're going to special events like a wedding, Christmas, birthday, etc., especially if it's your own birthday, give yourself a pass for the night. 1 night of light drinking won't kill you, especially if you've had your weekends and weeks consistently dialed in, right? So let's say, you've been consistent 51 out of 52 weekends out of the year. 1 weekend isn't going to throw your game off. You might wake up feeling a little groggy and all that kind of stuff, but you'll be fine, right? It only becomes an issue when it's a problem, when it's a daily reoccurrence, right? And it's really holding you back from being able to step up as your best self, be able to put more energy back into the business, put more energy back into the family, and have more energy for the kids. That's when it becomes a problem, right? Number 5, have a plan. I'm not just talking about a plan for the night, but a plan to get back on track with your diet and workouts, with your nutrition and workouts. So if you want to see consistent progress, then you need momentum and speed, right? Show up for yourself every Monday and watch the rest of the week play out as you want it, right? So let's say you're super tired waking up on Monday, and feel a little groggy and all that kind of stuff. Might be worth just to go in, do some cardio, get a sweat on, maybe hit the sauna if you have that available to you. Get a sweat on, get it out of your system so that you can show up the best way possible on for the rest of the week, right? You don't want to let one Monday dictate the other 4 days of the week, Tuesday to Friday, right? So have some autonomy, have some control over the words that you're telling yourself, the things that are going in, the thoughts that you're having inside your head, and have a plan. Have a plan, right? Because if you have a plan to get back on track, it's very difficult to fall off again. Where a lot of people go, especially with business traveling and all that kind of stuff, fall off of the routine. Maybe the routine wasn't so stable to begin with, and then they're back to where they were. Nothing's changed over a year, right? So have a plan. And if you want a plan, you're not sure how to have a plan inside your busy lifestyle, shoot me a DM, drop a comment. More than happy to help you out in any way possible, point you in the right direction, and see if it's even possible for us to help you out. So this one was really short and sweet. Hope you guys found it is helpful. One of the biggest takeaways here is, alcohol, excessive amounts of alcohol, I should say, could be the reason why you're more stressed in business, right? There is a certain layer, a bottom layer of stress, if you will, that's almost like a low-grade infection. Can't remember who said it. Some marketer. Anyways, I read his book a while back. Basically, he said, the stresses of business are like a low-grade infection. They never truly go away. But you don't want to let that low-grade infection get out of control and turn into, huge rash. You got to go to the hospital to take care of it, get pumped with pharmaceuticals and all that kind of stuff. Hypothetically speaking, of course. So when it comes to that low-grade infection, it's always going to be there. It's just about how we manage stress. And fitness is one of the best things we can do that. Smashing your workouts first thing in the morning, eating well so that we don't have excessive amount of stress. We're keeping our stress down with good food. We're fueling our system that suits us well as an individual. We're getting our morning workouts done to have a clear head going into work, and ultimately coming home, getting some good rest, spending quality time with those who are important, and making the most of it every single day, right? So hope you guys find this helpful. If you have any questions about any of this, let me know. More than happy to help out. Cheers.